Welcome to the Control Tower. I'm your exam tower director, and today you and I are running a complete, high-stakes simulation of the Cambridge Arabic Language Paper 4. Specifically, we're locking on to Section 2, Essay Questions on Central Issues. Look, you need to treat this explainer exactly like an air traffic control emergency simulation. The clock is ticking, the pressure is immense, and we have dozens of analytical points circling in the airspace above us. We are going to clear the runway, manage that extreme exam day time pressure, and ruthlessly prioritize your highest yield marks.
So let's address the massive, heavy aircraft currently looming on our radar screen. What actually separates a B from an A star in this specific paper? Well, it's not just about how much Arabic vocabulary you've memorized. The difference comes down to how expertly you manage your central issues and theoretical foundations under pressure. We're going to decode the exact telemetry the Cambridge examiners are looking for. Our core objective for this session? To upgrade your essay from a nervous, fuel-wasting holding pattern into a mathematically precise, safe, full-mark landing sequence. Okay, here is your approach vector for today's simulation. We are moving sequentially through 4 waypoints. Number 1, core principles. Number 2, technical methodology. Number 3, critical analysis. And number 4, examiner warnings. Let's get moving.
Section 1, core principles. Let's initialize the radar grid.
To get these heavy essays safely on the tarmac, you absolutely must adopt the method mark strategy. Now, to explain this, I want you to imagine 2 router operators sitting right next to me in the tower. On my left, we have router Alex. Now, Alex is a hard worker, but Alex gets completely bogged down in minor details, spitting out endless plot summaries and creating this chaotic, infinite holding pattern of facts. On my right, we have router Sam. Sam is impatient. Sam tries to clear complex arguments for landing way too fast, jumping straight to the conclusion without verifying any structural safety regulations. Neither of them is getting an A star today. The method mark strategy means you are heavily rewarded for the systematic deconstruction of the prompt. You have to prove your analytical process every single step of the way. You don't just arrive at the answer, you show the examiner exactly how you navigated there.
Look at your screens, because Cambridge explicitly targets 3 distinct cognitive domains for Paper 4. We've got knowledge and understanding, critical analysis, and evaluative thinking. Going back to our operators, Alex is totally stuck in that first domain, just pumping out knowledge. But to land an A star, you must demonstrate balanced competence across all 3 of these domains simultaneously. If you just list basic facts about the Arabic text without analyzing the how and the why, your essay is just circling the airport. You have to push the throttle into critical analysis and, most importantly, evaluative thinking to actually touch down.
The Cambridge Assessment Framework is incredibly strict about this next point. It ruthlessly prioritizes deep, logical reasoning and analytical depth over a superficial breadth of general knowledge. It literally does not matter to the examiner if you know a tiny bit about 50 different cultural or literary topics. They don't want a scattergun approach. What they want to see is you taking 1 or 2 central issues and diving incredibly deep. They want to see those specific textual connections and the rich cultural context that proves you actually understand the architecture of the Arabic texts you've studied. Depth over breadth, every single time. Section 2, technical methodology. Moving to our next waypoint.
All right, we need to build some structural safety into your answers, which brings us to the technical methodology. Remember router Sam, rushing to conclusions? By strictly following this 5-step standardized sequence, you prevent yourself from pulling a Sam and clearing arguments too fast without proper verification. This is your non-negotiable flight checklist. Step 1. Identify the key elements from your Arabic source text. Step 2. Apply the relevant cultural or literary principles. Step 3. Execute your analysis by linking your textual evidence directly to your named thesis. Step 4. Verify the results. Does your logic actually hold up under scrutiny? And Step 5. Present it clearly. If you skip even one of these steps, you are risking a catastrophic structural failure in your essay's argument.
Uniquely for this specific Arabic language syllabus, your essay presentation has to strictly adhere to some very rigid conventions. I'm talking about mandatory compliance here. Look at the table. Proper paragraph structuring ensures academic clarity. That's how the examiner navigates your thoughts. Correct Arabic syntax is absolutely vital to demonstrate your linguistic competence. This is a language paper after all. And clear integration of quotes is how you secure those critical evidence marks. Treat these presentation formats as your structural safety regulations. If your Arabic grammar is sloppy or your paragraphs are a giant wall of text, the examiner loses the radar signal on your argument.
Section 3, critical analysis. Tower transmission check. before we clear this next phase of the response for touchdown, I need to ensure your transponder is fully updated. Take 1 second right now to subscribe to Ace the Exams at Ace the Exams and turn on all notifications so you never miss an approach vector. Okay, transmission verified. Let's talk about hitting an unexpected structural block mid-paragraph. You're writing, the clock is ticking, and suddenly you freeze. Your argument stalls. When this happens, you need to rely on cross-topic connections to guide your sentence back onto the highest scoring glide slope. Look at this quote directly from the Principal Examiner report. Candidates who reference these cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks. To execute this, mentally deploy the Peel formatting template. Point, evidence, evaluation, link. Make your point, drop your evidence, evaluate it, and then link it straight back to another topic in the syllabus. It jumpstarts your stalled paragraph every time.
Now we are entering the interactive runway workshop part of our simulation. I want you to imagine a complex source text or a thematic data map sitting right in front of you. You have a 60-second visual timer in your head. Your job? Isolate the primary trend. True problem solving uses a deconstruct, solve, and evaluate approach. To do this effectively in Arabic, you need to weaponize your comparative connectives. You can't just say two texts or themes are similar. You must identify the similarities and the differences, highlighting both on your radar. And you have to support every single claim with hard, undeniable textual evidence extracted directly from your sources.
This brings us to the absolute pinnacle of the grading rubric, evaluative thinking. This is how you prove to the examiner that you aren't just regurgitating information. You have to continuously evaluate the quality of your evidence. Top-tier candidates read an Arabic text and immediately start questioning the assumptions made by the author. They consider all the different cultural stakeholders involved. They weigh alternate interpretations, they actively acknowledge uncertainty or bias in the text, and then they justify their own final decisions with bulletproof evidence. You are systematically checking the reasonableness of your conclusions against reality. That is how you command the airspace of your essay.
Section 4. Examiner Warnings. Let's identify the debris on the runway.
Listen closely, because according to the senior examiners, there are exactly 3 major emergency warnings that consistently drop student points in Paper 4. We are going to isolate these 3 hazards right now so you never, ever trigger them.
Okay, interactive workshop phase 2, audience tracking. Take 60 seconds to mentally map the data on this chart. The vast majority of points are lost not because students don't know the material, but because of these 3 easily avoidable procedural mistakes: generic context answers, poor grammatical structure, and a lack of textual evidence. It is incredibly frustrating for an examiner to watch a brilliant student crash their essay because of a technicality. You have to spot these violations in your own writing before you hand that paper in.
Warning number 1 is the most dangerous debris on the runway, the generic context answer. This is the classic trap. Router Alex falls for this all the time. You memorize a beautiful, perfectly written paragraph about a specific author or literary movement, and you just force it into the essay, regardless of what the prompt actually asked. Listen to me. If you do not directly link every single analytical point to the specific scenario or question context given on exam day, you will bleed marks. The examiner wants to see you flying the specific route they gave you, not the one you practiced at home.
Warnings 2 and 3 are poor grammatical structure and a lack of textual evidence. This comes down to your fuel to mark budget formula. Think of your time and your word count as aviation fuel. If you're burning fuel writing long, rambling sentences with poor Arabic conjugations and 0 actual quotes from the text, you will run out of fuel before you hit the high-scoring marks. Always verify that you are maintaining an appropriate formal register in Arabic, and never make a claim without immediately backing it up with a clear, specific piece of textual evidence. Conserve your fuel, spend it only on high-yield analysis.
Okay, the pressure is on, the exam is tomorrow. How do you remember all this? You use a memory hack called the visual story method. You need to encode these complex procedural concepts, identify, apply, execute, verify, present, into a connected visual narrative. Picture this exact simulation. Picture yourself as the tower director. Visualize Router Alex and Router Sam sitting next to you. Visualize checking your radar for those 3 examiner warnings before you clear a paragraph for landing. By encoding the rules into a story, you guarantee rapid, almost automatic recall when you are sitting in that exam hall under extreme time pressure.
And with that, Alex and Sam have successfully logged a full mark landing sequence. You are officially cleared for a safe touchdown on Paper 4. Now that we've secured the airspace, I want to hear directly from you. Subscribe to @AceTheExams right now Enable that notification bell so you don't miss our next simulation, and leave a comment below telling me which specific Arabic past paper or central issue gives you the most anxiety. Drop it in the comments and we might just tackle it in our next explainer. Keep your approaches steady, trust your instruments, and I'll see you in the next one.